Hey Zalivas, this is SuperZomgbBBQ and I'm back with a second part of our Road to Glory journey, and we are going to start off where we left off, which is at Bret Hart, and this is the entrance to WrestleMania. Now if you haven't seen episode 1 yet, please stop, go back. It's better to experience the whole thing together. The first episodes run through all the Survivor Road to Glories, and we're now going to go on to the WrestleMania Road to Glories, and this is definitely where more of the interesting elements came into Road to Glory, let's just say that. So we're starting off on Bret Hart. Now Bret Hart for some was the easiest Road to Glory they've ever done. For others it was the hardest and was an absolute pain in the ass. And me personally, it was an absolute pain in the ass. I had to face Jonathan, I had to face bots that had just been created that all had WrestleMania pros. They were all better than every single card I had in my deck. Simply put, I was on a highway to beating every single match, unless it was Jonathan, where I might just get the lucky win over him. Simply put, I'm really happy I got the Bret card. It's an awesome card. Unfortunately, they kind of nerfed the difficulty, which really screwed things up and made it a very easily accessible card, which they admitted about a day later and fixed the difficulty, but the damage had already been done. So we move on to the next card, and this was actually after the Brock Lesnar PCC, which, if you remember, the Brock Lesnar PCC was the first one, the top 200, and you got to think about this. This is a long time ago now. It's memories. Road to Glory just finished with Bret, and you had PCC, and then they announced the awards, and it was the top 200, and it was like, oh wow, this has just gone crazy, and it was unreal. So we're going to move on to Triple H as the second Road to Glory card for this tier, and my deck had improved. I managed to get myself on the Brock cards, and we then had an Eddie Guerrero, one of my favourite WrestleMania cards, and a Bad News Barrett that helped me get that Brock Lesnar and helped me in the PCC after that as well. By that point we had the 5 Fusion Pros. We had every single card leveled up. We had free Fusion at Nikki Bella's. I had the famous Wall of Nikki, which was just sitting there, and I actually could have got the fourth Nikki to make it a full Fusion Wall of Nikki, but I decided not to and used it for the chamber instead. Triple H was actually harder in terms of overall, but by that point I'd already had 2 event cards and 2 WrestleMania cards, so it didn't actually affect me that much, but a lot of people missed out on Triple H because of the difficulty being much harder. Then move on to the next one. The next one is one of my favourite Road to Glory I've ever done. It's not the most favourite stream I've done, pure not for any reason other than basically I thought Seth's was the funniest one we've done so far, other than the Brock one, which was just hilarious for its own reasons. But let's go to the next one, which is the Daniel Bryan card. The Daniel Bryan card brought along it with an incredible charisma rating, the highest in the tier for the event cards so far before the fusions came in. And we have Brock and Mizdow as the event cards, which obviously were after Bryan had come in. We then had 2 new WrestleMania pros in Ric Flair and in Jack Swagger. And we lost all our Survivor pros. We're actually now starting to get rid of the Road to Glory pros, which is insane at the time. I still didn't have a WrestleMania Pro Diva then. Most people were starting to get them, and it was getting slightly frustrating. Daniel Bryan was actually one of the better cards, but I still didn't like some of his stats. But hey, move on. He was more of a single card for me than anything else. Move on to the next one, which is Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins was the last Road to Glory for me that was difficult. I actually had to face people who actually had good decks. And I will be releasing a video at some point that actually reviews the difficulty of RTG and how it's changed over time. I can't promise it anytime soon because it's going to take a lot of video editing. So I don't really have the time to do it at the moment, but I will do it at some point. Just to make a point to the developers, because the developers seem to not want to listen to us, or are refusing to listen to not even the top end players, but every player. They should be able to face difficult decks, and they're not able to. But Seth started the movement of having a more balanced deck and more balanced cards overall. Whereas Bryan had just come out, who was great in speed and charisma. Rollins actually beat Bryan in 3 stats, so we started having the cards that counteract each other. And we had this deck to face it with. So we had, again, still no WrestleMania Diva, but we had no more Road to Glory pros in terms of the Survivor ones. We had full WrestleMania deck, which I had the Miz and Jimmy Uso unleveled at the time. But that was a preview for the next deck that I had going up. Now comes, we've gone past the, we call it champion era, because we had a lot of the people who had the championship belts. We had the John Cena as well, and the John Cena was, I believe, actually just after this Road to Glory. I think, even not, it was just before it, one or two. We then had the Glitch era, and we had Kane. Everyone remembers Kane for two reasons. That's when I got all those throwback packs, the throwback fail. The stream, oh my god, that was crazy. And guess what? Mr. Crab was here, and Mr. Crab made it really easy because a glitch became available that basically broke the game. And also at this point onwards, every Road to Glory was piss easy. And I mean so easy. It's just getting easier and easier and easier. And I'm hoping one day Cat Daddy will actually listen. But hey, it's down to them, isn't it? And this is the deck we had for that. We had the Cena. We had two rows. We had the Orton as well. So it was definitely Orton before this, and Seth was Cena beforehand. Don't know why Cena wasn't in my Seth deck. I have no idea. And we had a full team of WrestleMania pros, and I had two divas as well, which made it absolutely fantastic. That was such a relief. You have no idea getting those two divas. I got Natalia on the Friday, and then the next PCC on the Thursday. I got myself when I was doing Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose PCC. It killed me so much when Dean Ambrose lost, by the way. I got myself the second Nikki, and I've got the reaction in the video below. Definitely worth watching and finding out about it, because that was possibly one of the craziest reactions I and most other SuperCard people have ever done. I'm not proud of it either. So you move on to Glitch Stage Part 2, and that comes to Neville. I was able to get Neville card first from anyone else, which is awesome, and I posted it, got loads of flack for doing it, and kind of lost interest in doing the whole get quickly thing. So we now move on to that deck, and the Neville deck was not much actually changed. A couple of more improved WrestleMania pros. We had the Kane. And to be honest with you, then nothing else really changed after that. I think we did have one more RTG Pro. I think we did, but so PCC Pro. I've actually gone to Owens now and see if that makes a difference. Yeah, sorry, we had Ryback, and obviously that made a difference for my deck, which makes a huge deal. I think actually Kane was after Orton was after Kane, wasn't it? I'm not sure. The PCCs kind of confused me. Just there's so many events all piled into each other. Anyway, we're up to date with Owens. We've got Owens' deck here, and Owens' deck has all of the cards in it, all the PCC and RTG cards up to date. And then we actually had our new pro Roman Reigns, we had our pro Dean Ambrose, we had pro Bay, we had pro Andre the Giant. So at that point, our deck was starting to get really, really, really powerful. And then we get to this abomination of a card, Roman Reigns. Now, don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns is one of the best cards you can possibly have for ring domination and Road to Glory. But as an exhibition and King of the Ring card, he is truly awful, absolutely horrific. Avoid him at all costs. He is so even that without Blassie, he is terrible. And we had this deck to go up against it. Again, you can see we had the full deck of Road to Glory cards, PCC cards, and it then gets us to the next the next card, which is Brock Lesnar, and we had this deck to go up against it, and we are now exiting the glitch stage. Now, a lot of people were so happy when that happened, because the glitch now, this is pre-update, so the Brock Lesnar card was just announced after the Ring Domination event had happened. Actually, no, sorry, Ring Domination had happened first, and then you had the PCC Ziggler, and then you had the Ring Domination event again, then you had Brock Lesnar. So this is post-update Road to Glory, and we had this deck to go up against it. The 5 Fusion males and 1 Fusion Diva team, and had a full team of event pros. After getting myself that Sami Zayn, I have no more WrestleMania Pro cards. So I didn't go for Ziggler. Hands up, I just didn't think it was worth it. And quite frankly, the stats actually came out under, so he wouldn't have made my deck anyway. But I also had my Pro Lita in the bottom left-hand corner, and also my Pro Page, which is from the Page PCC, which is an incredible grind. And that's where we leave ourselves, because as of now, we are now going to the next Ring Domination. The Ring Domination video was yesterday, so obviously check that out, and that's in my video catalog, so feel free to go and have a check of it. And I'm going to leave you with this image over here, which is the final Road to Glory card that we had until obviously the next one comes along, which is the Silver Star Brock Lesnar, exactly where we started. So Brock Lesnar was the last Road to Glory we had. I hope you enjoyed the video series. I will do another one when we get to the next tier, if there is a next tier, who knows. And when we get to this kind of point, I will do another one of these videos which goes from this point on to the next. Hope you liked it. Really appreciate the feedback from the last one. A lot of people give me a lot of good feedback, a couple of negative comments here and there, but who gives a toss. This has been SuperZombieGBBQ. I hope you have a fantastic evening, fantastic day tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to Ring Domination. I hope you guys are too. And most importantly, leave that. Meh.